Hi, and welcome to the podcast. Today we have Jeff Lynn. He is from Roswell, New Mexico. He is the head football coach of Roswell High School. They have won 3 state championships. He is the husband to Kirsten, who is a physical therapist and slightly younger, I might add, than Jeff. He is the father of 3 teenage boys, and a 3-year-old daughter, Lincoln. And full disclosure, Jeff is my brother, and I'm very proud of him and so thankful he's on the podcast. So, welcome, Jeff.
Thanks for having me, Kel.
How's your day going?
Great. I
So,
never I never have a bad day.
oh, that's wonderful. Why is that? Tell us why.
Because I'm on testosterone. No,
Amen,
I
brother.
just I just it's just a lot better to have a good day than
That's
a
right.
bad day.
That's right.
So
So, Jeff, how old are you?
I am 49.
And when did you start to notice symptoms of hormone deficiency? And what were they?
Oh, like I didn't know I was having hormone deficiency, obviously. But I noticed that, I just noticed that I had a lot less energy and I had a lot, I'd be sitting in my chair at night and I'd fall asleep, and that wasn't like me. I'm pretty high energy, pretty high. I move around a lot and can't hardly sit still. But I was just, this was probably, I don't know where I really started feeling it, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I just kind of, I did not that I felt bad. I just didn't feel like I had as much energy, and so I just, you know, I you and then I went to the doctor and got some blood work done, and I was really really low on testosterone, and so that was so I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago.
And you're an active guy, right? You were exercising. You're run. I know you used to run. Do you still run?
I don't run as much as I used to. I lift 3 times a week, and I try to do cardio at least a couple times a week. I ride the Peloton, or I will get on a treadmill and run. Um, I'm doing like the Swedish four, where you like I don't really run the whole time. I like sprint for, or go as hard as I can for like 4 minutes, and then I walk for 3 minutes. So I do some of that kind of stuff. Like I go out to the track and I'll run the straights and walk the curbs and do some push-ups, that kind of thing. But I lift 3 times a week regularly, and then I try to walk 9 holes of golf at least once a week. So yeah, I stay pretty active, and I would say that I'm relatively fit for a 49-year-old.
Sure. And how about eating? What does that look like for you?
I'm not that's probably my one vice. I don't really drink. I don't really smoke. I don't really gamble. But sugar, you put a cake in front of me and I will crush that cake. I have a problem with sugar. We can thank our mother for that. She, after every meal, we always had to have dessert. And so I'm kind of in after every meal, I have to have dessert. So ice cream, cake, I don't do very well on that. I have tried to limit my carbs a little bit, and I do some intermittent fasting. I don't eat till 1 o'clock every day. So
Yeah.
um, I do some intermittent fasting and try to limit my carbs, but I'm not great at the eating side of things. That's something I'm trying to work on, but it's hard. So
So how many hours do you try to fast?
I try to fast at least 18 hours a day. So I figure I stop eating by 6:30 or 7 at night, and then I don't eat again until 1. And so I try to get at least 18 hours of fasting in.
So you try to eat your ice cream by 6:30, have it eaten
Yeah,
by then.
exactly. I get all that. Yeah, and I don't really eat. I don't really even. Well, you just saw me. You're calling call me a liar. You just saw me eat a burrito, but most days I don't really even eat lunch. I have like a banana or an apple, and that's pretty much what I do for lunch. And then try to have a decent. I have a big dinner, and so that's kind of
Yeah.
my eating regimen. So
So you break your fast with something small and then have a dinner. That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
that sounds good. So you mentioned being on testosterone. What kind of hormone therapy have you tried?
So I've done the cream. I started with the cream. Um, and so I've done the cream. I did the cream for, I don't know, 6 months to 7 months. And then I was pelleted. I did pellets for 6 months. And then actually went back to the cream. I like the cream better than, I don't know, there was just something about pellets. I didn't like reaching back there on my butt and feeling something in my butt. For some
You,
reason, it kind of wigged me out. So
sure.
and I know, pellets is a big part of what you do, but I felt a lot more comfortable with the cream. So I do the cream daily. I do it every morning when I wake up, and I put it underneath my arm right here, and right when I get out of the shower, and that seems to be what's working best for me.
Sure. And so pellets are something that can, if they're placed on the posterior hip, they can be felt when you reach back there, and they stay there till they melt away after about 4 to 6 months. So I get that. Um, so have you had your labs redrawn on cream or uh, what? You're out in New Mexico, so are you
I,
getting?
I haven't I haven't had my labs drawn since I've been on since this second round of cream. I had my labs done probably right in the middle of my pellet therapy, and my I can't remember, like I want to say, like my initial testosterone reading before I got on anything was about was it 200 or something. I can't remember how you guys
Yeah, you were
measure
pretty
that.
low.
Yeah, I was like in the 200s or something, and the last time that I had that checked, I was seemed like I was in like 750 or something like that. So
Yeah,
I'd come
that's
up
good.
quite a bit. So, um, but I haven't had it done. Probably in the last year, I haven't had it done. So,
Okay. So we try to keep a guy between 900 and 1200 on pellets. It's a little harder to get that high on cream, but I have seen it in lab work, especially if you've just applied it, you can get that high. So what benefits are you noticing?
I mean, I just have more energy. I'm, I have a 3-year old. I'm 49 years old, and I have a 3-year old, and like I can chase her around now, and like I'm not like right when I get home, I'm not hitting the recliner and falling asleep. I just have more energy, and then I found that my workouts um are better. Like I don't really like when I lift, I don't really lift heavy.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that, I've gained muscle mass. I'm not like I'm gaining muscle at my age. I'm not staying the same or it going away. Like I'm putting on muscle, and so I think probably those are the two benefits that I've seen the most. Is just I've got more energy. My workouts are better. I'm putting on muscle, and I don't ache as much. I don't feel like I ache as much, and I do feel like I sleep a little bit better. And I don't know if I'm sleeping better because my workouts are better and I'm burning more energy, or if that's a direct effect of testosterone. But I do notice that I sleep a little bit. So I sleep better. I have more energy, and I feel like I'm putting on muscle at my age, and I think that's important. So what do they say? You lose every 10 years, you lose 10% of your muscle or something like that,
Yeah.
and
And
that's a
muscle is the currency of aging or
yeah.
anti-aging rather. The more muscle mass you can hang on to, the younger you metabolically will
Well,
be.
and another thing, like I've lost weight. I mean, I think I've lost some weight on it as well. I think I'm down about 10 pounds, and again, I don't know if that's the testosterone or if that's the result of having better workouts, but I have lost some weight since being on testosterone. So
It's probably a culmination of the testosterone, the intermittent fasting, the workouts, all of it. Because your body composition's changed. You've probably lost more than 10 pounds of fat, but you might have put on a couple of pounds of muscle.
yeah, yeah. So, but I just feel better and I've got more energy. I mean, I think those are probably the two big things. So
So if Kirsten was in the room, what would she say is different about you on testosterone?
I think she'd probably say the same things. I think, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think she'd probably say the same things. I've got more energy, and I'm I'm in better shape, and and that kind of stuff. So I think that's probably what she'd say.
You're not a recliner dad where you just go sit in the
Well, I can
recliner.
now. Don't get me wrong. I can I can put my fat ass in the recliner and
Uh,
chill. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
it's not because I have to now. It's because I want to, and I don't have anything else going on. So, but
Yeah.
and I'm pretty good at giving directions with from the recliner. Especially when the boys are around. But
Oh, heck yeah.
no, but uh, I don't have to be a recliner dad anymore. I guess I get to be a recliner dad. It's a
There you
choice.
go. There you go. So since dad's not in the room to defend himself, he's also uh we called him OG, the original gangster. He's football coach for how many years? Over
Oh Jesus,
50 after how 50 years.
he's in his 40s. I mean, no, he's it's kind of a cool stat. Like I say this every time, but like so we won a state championship this year in football at Roswell High. We were 2024 state champions. So with that state championship, our father, the OG, has won a state championship in every decade since the 1960s. So he won one in the 1960s as a player. And then in the 70s, he won a state championship. In the 80s, the 90s, 2000, 2010, and 2020. So every decade since the 1960s, he has either been a player, assistant coach, or the head coach on a state championship team in the state of New Mexico. That's quite the.
That is
I
what an
mean,
honor. Yeah.
that's like that'll never be done again. I mean, that's like legend stuff. I mean, so, and he's
Yes. And
77 and he still coaches our offensive line, and he still gets out there and gets after those kids every day, and just fun to
and
be around. So
he's Hall of Fame in the state of New Mexico for football. Like, what's the exact title, Jeff?
he's in the New Mexico High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame,
And
and then he's
then,
also in the New Mexico High School Federation Hall of Fame in Omaha, Nebraska. So he's had
wow.
a great career, and so we
And we finally got him on some testosterone. Have you noticed any changes in him?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not as grumpy. Yeah. So no, he's I mean, he's got, I don't know if it's like he's pretty religious in the way he works out, and he's fanatical in the way he eats. Like he doesn't eat any carbs, and he only eats one meal a day. I mean,
Wow.
he does a 24-hour fast every day, and he's 77, 78. I don't remember exactly how old he is, but he's, I look at his peers, the guys that he coached with throughout his career, and those
Yeah.
guys aren't as in nearly as a good a shape as he's in. And I think the testosterone and the fasting and his commitment to working out
Yeah, he
is
works out 2 or 3 hours a day, right? Like,
yeah, he does a lot of like elliptical. He's got a little problem with his leg, and he can't run or walk anymore, so he gets on the elliptical and works out a couple hours every day. And I think he even hits the weight some. I think he lifts some. So um but he's, I told somebody this the other day, like, about 10 or 15 years ago, he figured it out. He stopped eating carbs and started working out, and he's probably lost 40 or 50 pounds. And I mean, he's doing a lot of things that guys his age don't do. And
yeah.
just
Yeah.
and I think the testosterone is probably part of that. I mean,
Oh,
most of the guys, they can't even, most of the guys his age that he coached with, they can hardly get out of the house. So
for sure. A funny story Kirsten told me, the elliptical he uses at the gym is got skull all over it because he spends about 2 or 3 hours a day on it.
yeah, yeah,
Skull is tobacco, if for anybody that doesn't know, but it's like, oh, that's so gross. But
it is
it's a
gross.
testament to his commitment for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to put a plaque on that thing. I guess he's worn that thing out. So same one too. Like he's got it. He takes his cell phone. He has to plug his cell phone in.
Uh-huh.
So there's an electrical outlet that he can plug his cell phone in, and He sits there and does the elliptical and listens to Rush Limbaugh. I don't think it's Rush Limbaugh anymore, but it's whoever took Rush's place
And
on AM
I got him
radio.
AirPods, but he still listens to it out loud.
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine, you know, the people that he works with every day work
Uh,
out with every day have to listen to that. So kind of funny.
he's an enigma. Well, Jeff, did you have any side effects to your testosterone at all? Pellets or cream?
No, not really. I mean, the only side effect that I've had is I've gotten more hairier. I mean, I'm
Excellent.
naturally kind of hairy. I've got a hairy chest, and I think it's probably got a little bit more hairy. But that's really the only thing. I think it's been a really positive experience, and I would encourage anybody who's thinking about it just to you know you know do the research and maybe give it a try. It's been a good experience. So
That's great. So you would say hormone therapy, if not changed your life, it's at least enhanced your life.
yeah, it's enhanced my life. Like it has. Like again, I can tell a difference. I can tell a difference. You know, and I think it's been good. So
So, as a hormone hero, is there any advice you'd give to anybody that might be listening?
no, I mean just I think some of the misconceptions about we grew up. I grew up around sports and football, and we always I grew around some guys that were on testosterone or steroids um, in locker rooms and that kind of thing. And, I think, some of that, I think we have some misconceptions about what that is. And, we're all going to rage and we're all going to get acne and, those kinds of things. I think, I would encourage you just to kind of do the research and do the things. And I think, the medical community has not done a good job with testosterone and hormone therapy. There was those things that came out like in the night. There were studies done in the 1950s that said it was bad, and we're still basing decisions off those studies. And I think if you're in 2024 and you're having some of the issues that I was having, I would definitely look into it because it's made a difference in my life. And I think because I got a 3-year-old, and I'm 49 and I got a 3-year-old, man. I'm gonna have to chase that little girl around for the next 10, 15 years. And so I think it's been really good for me to get on this stuff. And I think it'd be good for other people too. But do the research and, talk to your physician and talk to Kelly and make sure it's right for you.
Absolutely.
And just do your homework and don't believe everything you hear. I mean, that's the thing. I think part of my reluctancy was because I listened to like everything I heard in the past about it. And when you really get down to business and you really do the study and do the work, I think a lot of people would benefit from this type of therapy. So check it out.
Thanks, Jeff. And I was just going to mention uh, Jeff does a lot of other things we didn't mention, but you cold plunge, you do red light therapy. Anything else?
Yeah, I did the 10x health genetic study
Uh huh.
um, about a year and a half ago, and I tell you what, that's made a huge difference. I got on those, and I don't know if you're still doing that kind of stuff, Kelly, or not, but
Yeah, we do
the
that.
Gary Brecka stuff. Um, I did that genetic test, and I take magnesium, I take zinc, I take the supplement TMG. I'm not even sure what that is,
Uh
and then
huh.
I take the methylated.
Trimethylglycine.
Yeah, I take the the methylated multivitamin, and I really feel like that's made a difference. Like I haven't been sick this the flu's been going around and COVID and all that stuff's been going around, and I haven't been sick the whole winter. And I work in a school with 1,400 kids,
Yeah.
and they bring that stuff to school every day, and I'm in a locker room and a weight room with them, and I haven't been sick at all. And so that's done good. I do cold plunge. I cold plunge every weekday. I go for 5 minutes
Ooh.
at about my cold plunge use stays about 54, 55 degrees. So
Do you
I
make noises? Like, could we get a recording of you getting in your cold plunge?
Yeah, maybe. Like I mainly just it just takes your breath away, you know. But
Uh
I tell you what, that you get out of that deal, man. And the way I compare it is, like, you ever given a dog a bath,
huh.
right? And then they get the
Yeah.
zoomies. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's
Uh
the way
huh.
I feel when I get out of the cold plunge. I feel like a dog that just got a bath. I just
Huge.
feel good.
Yeah.
And
Endorphins,
so,
dopamine rush, all those things.
yeah.
Excellent. All right, Jeff, I know you're a busy man. Thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Bye bye.